everybody, welcome back to another Small Biz Artist video. Today we're going to continue the planning of how to do things better, basically, and how I'm going to go forward with doing those things better. And we're going to start talking about the conventions, because oh boy, I do not utilize them at all to my benefits. I sell stuff, but that's about it. So we're going to take our brainstorming session from a couple of videos ago and try to find ways to really help them grow my business long term versus, hey, I sold some stuff, great. I don't want to just be there just to sell, right? I want to be like, hey, I have a whole brand, I have a whole website, I have a whole YouTube channel, I have all this stuff, and I want you to come look at it. So we gotta figure this out. So convention plan. Make sure you can see this. All right, I'm gonna boost that up. And I have some coffee, so I'm going to take a sip. Can you see that in the video? You can. Look at that. It's Louise from Bob's Burgers. All right. So convention plan. Let me look up my notes from what we did for the convention. Just phasing out conventions. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think the biggest thing that I struggle with the conventions is really pulling the people that I'm talking to and are at my table to my email list, to my YouTube channel, and everything else. So I obviously need to get really good about finding a way to get them to sign up to all this, right? So a lot of that's going to be signage, but it's also going to be business cards, because I'm not going to show my business cards because then I'll break my rule of you can't see my other channel. I'm testing some things out. I need to completely rethink how I'm portraying my business, because it's obviously not working as well as I want it to. So a lot of this will be signage, but also marketing. And all right, so convention plan. So first we're just going to talk about signage, right? I'm just going to make a quick note here that branding logo needs to be redone. This is something I've been trying to do the past 2 years, and I overthink it, so I'm overcomplicating it, which means I need to give it to someone else to do. And that's kind of pricey. So I already have someone in mind to do it because they did a logo for another project for me, but I need to hand this off to someone else, be like, just make it. I can't think about it because it will never get done. So that's just going to be a note because that may affect the marketing part. Okay, so on top of that, we have, my brand name or business name, whatever, on the table. That's great. But I need to kind of think, how do I get people to do the email list, right? So a lot of people will come and look at your table and they won't buy anything, but they'll say, oh, I like this. And they'll have interest, right? So what I could do for the email list. Now this is going to be a little challenging because I can have a sign. So with a QR code, so QR code sign up. And what I can also do with that is give a free sticker. Or a free sticker with, reverse this. All right, and that's not too bad. I can just do like a small, like 1-inch sticker or something like that. That's really fun, like monster related or whatever, because that's my theme is monsters and Halloween. And I think that would go well. So QR code sign up, you get a free sticker. That would be good. And that is, if I can at least get that for people who aren't interested in buying, but are still interested in what I'm doing, because there are a lot of people that will go to conventions and they run out of money. Like they have a set budget, and that's totally understandable. And I would never get upset about that because I think that's a good thing to do. So by saying, hey, if you want something for my table, but you've basically maxed out your budget for the day, you can get a free sticker by signing up for my email list. That way they feel like they can support me basically, but they get something free out of it without feeling like they've lost out. You know, it's kind of a FOMO thing in a way, but that sounds really weird saying it because I don't want to like get to this whole psychology of selling and stuff. But as someone who shops myself and I love to support artists and I do budgets, I understand that it sucks when you can't financially support someone you come across at a convention. So for me, I know I'd be more than happy to get a free sticker for signing up for an email list. And I will say that a lot of the email lists I sign up for that are actual artists and stuff, I do not get a lot of spam. The most I get is an update on new product. Hey, I got new videos out, or a new Kickstarter or campaign, whatever it is. You know, I actually get very limited emails from them. So I'm more likely to sign up for an artist email list than I am an actual company like Michaels or Joanne Fabrics. That's give me emails every day, even though I said stop. So I think with that in mind, from my perspective, what I would do, I think this is something I could promote a lot better. And if I really want to take it a step further, I could give 2 options for a sticker and make it a little more like they're able to buy, not really, but kind of buy something and get an option, you know? Giving them an experience without breaking their wallet. And I think that might go over well. Now, this is just something that might work for me. Not everyone has to do this. There are a lot of artists that don't even bother giving anything out for free and just say, hey, if you like this stuff, you don't have a budget right now, go follow my email list. I'll do it after a convention. Update with whatever didn't sell will be on my website to buy. You can buy with this coupon code. Because that's another thing. Actually, I'm going to write that down too, coupon code. Because I can do that. And I think that would be a good thing to add. Okay, so that is actually a good idea for an email list. And so I think what I'm going to struggle with here though is, do I just want them on the email list, or do I want to try and get them to YouTube and my Etsy shop and stuff and get them to follow me there? Because technically I can get them all on the email list anyway, and they would get access to all those links. I don't know. I'm trying not to overcomplicate it, because the last thing I want to do is overwhelm someone that comes to my table and isn't able to buy or isn't ready to buy. So maybe I can have separate signage for my YouTube. Now this plan right here, I think what I'll do is maybe do a second QR code of, maybe that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna put this here. I can do email, YouTube, and then anything else that could have a third QR code. I think that might actually work. If I can simplify it where it's just all in one section, that might actually be more beneficial, because then someone who's coming up will be like, okay, I want to do your email list, I can do your YouTube channel, and I can go to your crowdfunding page while sitting at your table, and I can just walk away. Or they can just pick and choose what they're interested in. So we'll do the same. I don't really like QR codes that much, but the only reason I'm going to try and utilize them for this is they are more accessible to people, and it requires less interaction. And a lot of people at conventions just want to look and go. So by saying, oh, you have this, I can just take a picture of it, go sign up, whatever. Not a big deal. So, and they can always like unsubscribe to the email list later. Like that's why like the sticker options, it's a loss, but I'm okay with that. So QR codes to subscribe. And then I just need to like point out that I have live streams and tutorials. And I think if I can like properly explain that there are tutorials, people might be more interested as well, because there are a lot of people that are at events that are like, you know, I want to draw this and that, and it's like, well, I got some tutorials you can go look at, you know, not necessarily how to draw, but how to use the programs I'm using, and that might help you in your learning process, because I'm very big on that. So I think that would be good. And then the third option I can't talk. The third option would be for campaigns. Now, I have to keep in mind this is not always going to be around, but if it is, I want to make sure I'm utilizing it. So we're just going to put this here. So maybe I should have, see, the only downfall is I would have to change the QR code every time for this. So maybe what I'll do if for making the sign, I can just make a foam core board with this printed on it, and then I'll leave this blank, and then I can just print out the QR code and stick it on there. I think that'll work. Okay. And then, oh shoot, what do I want to put for the title? That will just have to be for the whole thing then. This whole thing will just have to be, so print, laminate, and stick. Let's keep that whole section blocked off. I think that'll be fine though, because it's not like a super costly thing to do. I can just print it out here and go laminate it for like a couple bucks. That's fine. And it's not something I'd be doing every other weekend. So I'm like, if I lose out on $10 a year or something just reprinting this section for campaigns, I'm okay with that. That's not a big deal. And I can even think about something to put here that if I don't have a campaign, I could put there instead. I guess it could be my website. We'll see. All right, so campaigns. We'll do the same thing, QR code. And then this would be for crowdfunding specifics. And I think that would be a really good way to get people at events to back your campaigns. And I just need to make sure that when I have people at my table, if I can point that out being the first thing, like, hey, if you don't see anything you like, check out my whatever campaign I have. We launched this day, or it is launched. We already made the goal. We haven't made the goal. Yada yada yada. I think that might. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that will work. So crowdfunding specifics. So I'm just gonna make a note here. Pitch to non-buyers. Non-buyers, I'm gonna say browsers. And then no more budget people. I'm gonna say no budget. Okay. No budget left. And by no budget left, I mean they don't have money for that day. But by going to the campaign website, they can always bookmark it and save it for later. That and a lot of campaign sites don't charge you until it's been funded anyway. So like, I don't have the money today to spend. Well, that's okay. Kickstarter allows you to go back this. You won't get charged until the campaign's over with, which is in a month. You can go ahead and back it today, and it won't like hit your budget or anything. And you can always cancel it later as well. So I think that would be a good pitch. So the pitch part will have to be something I work on myself in terms of communication, because I can't communicate all that on a board. It's just not going to be enough. So I also need to point out, like, get free sticker. And I could also make that sticker different each event. And then anything that's left over, I can either put, I roll it over into the next convention, which isn't a bad idea. I just want to make sure I don't overload myself with options. So maybe, I need to put while supplies last. No, because that's how people are. So maybe I can do like 50 stickers, and then if I actually get 50 email signups from a convention, that'll be a freaking miracle. But having something extra, you get a coupon code and you get a free sticker. That's pretty awesome to me. All right, YouTube, I just need to point out, like, I think maybe I should just say art, and I need to kind of simplify it to something where it's like, yes, this is art related, because it's not art and business at all. So I'll have to find a way to phrase it that's a little bit more appealing and can fit in here. Maybe I should just do art live streams and tutorials. I think that'll work. Art live streams and tutorials. Maybe we'll just do that. I think that's simplified enough that you can kind of figure out it's an art channel. And then this would be the campaign or whatever it is I have going on. So I don't really know what else I would put there if I don't have a campaign, and I think I need to figure that out now. Because that's kind of a big deal. So I think, you know what, I'll just put my Etsy shop there because that's just going to make more sense. Etsy shop when no campaign. And I think that'll work because that way they can do the QR code for the Etsy shop and bookmark it or favorite it or whatever, and that'll be that. Especially if, again, no budget left for the day for the convention, they can go bookmark the site and purchase later. The only downfall is things are a little bit more expensive on the Etsy shop, specifically because of fees and shipping and stuff like that. But that's okay. I mean, if they get a coupon code signing up, it should even out, so I'm not too worried. But I mean, shipping does add on to it. But if they're okay with that, cool. So yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, so I'm actually pretty happy with that convention plan. So this is going to be something where it's going to be a lot of effort up front to get this designed and made and laid out properly. And it probably will take a little bit of time to get the wording correct, make sure it's working. Like a lot of trial and error as I start to utilize it at conventions. So if, let's say the first time I use this, maybe I didn't make something clear enough. I'll have to go back and revise the messaging. Not a big deal, but this is the plan I can start with and then revise as I go along. Maybe the sticker options and coupon code wasn't working or people just didn't want it, in which case I can just take it off for the next convention. And I also have to keep in mind that every convention has the same customer base. So one event, they might love the free sticker option. Another event, they may not care at all. So, and I'll have to put coupon code for next purchase because for Etsy shop, not at the event. There's a bunch of legal disclaimer stuff I'm going to have to remember because there's always, like, I'm not saying people are like this at conventions, but there's always someone at these things that are like, well, you didn't say. You know, there's always that one person. Thankfully, I have not had that issue yet, knock on wood, but I need to make sure that I'm thinking ahead to avoid it, you know. All right, so this is my convention plan to get people from the event who are looking at my table to follow me on my email list, my YouTube, my Etsy, whatever it is, and really like lock them in as customers and fans. Now, obviously they can just say, I don't like any of this anymore and just leave. And that's totally fine, totally okay. But by giving them a chance to see more of what I'm capable of, I might get, like, let's say I have 10 followers out of this and only 2 stay. That's pretty good to me. That would make me happy. And then that's kind of what I'm looking for, you know. 10 come, take a look. They're not, you know, it's not really hitting their vibe or whatever. And then the 8 leave, but the 2 are like, you know what? I'm not too sure, but I like what you're doing, so I'm going to stay and stick around and see where it goes, you know. That's totally fine. So that's kind of the idea here. All right, so if you are doing conventions or you haven't and you're thinking about it, I would start thinking about a convention plan to get people from your, like, visiting your table and like show them everything else you're capable of. I'm limiting it to just email list, YouTube, and campaigns, and then the Etsy shop simply because I don't want to overwhelm people. I have social media, but I'm not going to say here's Instagram, here's this, and here's that. I'm just focusing on 3 major components to my business that will grow it. And what will grow it is the email list, the YouTube, and the campaigns and Etsy shop, which I will interchange depending on what's going on with the business. So if I can get those 3 main elements to grow, everything else will follow with it. And that's kind of my goal. This was a lot. I haven't even finished this cup of coffee yet, but this was a lot. But I'm happy with it. All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if you have any thoughts about this in the comments below. and make sure to like and subscribe so I don't miss you out in the next video.